Good afternoon, dear students. We have already started the chapter 1 of your paper A, Statistical Physics. The chapter 1 is Basic Ideas of Statistical Physics. So far now, we have discussed about all the definitions of trials and events. So now I am going to start the numericals relating to the various definitions of probabilities. So we have learned about the probability. Now we have to discuss the various numericals relating to the probability. So before starting the numericals, I must want to tell you, when a pair of dice is thrown simultaneously, what happens to the various types of probabilities? My dear students, because the dice are 2, so each die has got 6 independent events. 6 independent events means if 6 independent events of dice 1 and 6 independent events of dice 2 are collected together, we will get total number of cases as 6 multiplied by 6, that is equal to 36. So why I have multiplied over here, not added? Because there must be, you must be remember that we have done 2 theorems on the probability, the addition theorem and the multiplication theorem. Since whenever the events are independent events, we have to take into account the multiplication theorem. That is why, to find out the total number of cases, I have here multiplied the 2 types of independent events of the 2 dice. Alright. Now my dear students, try to learn this table. So what happens here? This is the formation of pairs. Formation of pairs means when the 2 dice show face 1, 1 up. This is when the face 1 is up on the first dice, whereas face number 2 is up on the second die. There is the third case, when face 1 is up on the first dice, whereas face 3 is up on the second dice. Fourth case is when face 1 is up on the first die and face 4 is up on the second dice, and so on. The last case is when face 1 is up on the first dice, whereas face 6 is up on the second dice. Now come to the another option. There is first dice have got face 2 as up, whereas face 1 is up on the second dice. There is both the dice have got face 2 as up. In this case, face 2 is up on the first dice, whereas face 3 is up on the second dice, and so on. The last case is when face 2 is up on the first dice and face 6 is up on the second dice. Similarly, 3-1, 3-2 combinations, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3 and so on, 5-1, 5-2, 5-3 and so on, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3 and so on. This is the last case when 6 faces up on the first dice as well as 6 faces up on the second dice. So I have made the columns over here. See, this is the showing number of pairs. Means when the sum of 2 is obtained on the 2 dice, there is only one case. 1 plus 1 comes out to be 2. So how many number of pairs are there? It is 1 pair only. Second case is when both the dice have got a sum of 3. When sum of 3 is there, you have got only 2 pairs, 2 1 and 1 2. Make the diagonals like this I have shown in this diagram. Alright. Now I wish to find out sum 4 on the 2 dice. So when the sum is 4, the combinations can be 3 1, 2 2 and 1 3. That means there are total 3 number of cases. When the sum on the 2 dice is 5, I will get 4 1, 3 2, 2 3 and 1 4. When the sum on the 2 dice is 5, I will get 4 1, 3 2, 2 3 and 1 4. When sum is 6, it has got 5 1, 4 2, 3 3, 2 4 and 1 5 and so on. Similarly, when sum on the 2 dice is 12, I will get only 1 pair, that is 6, 6. When sum is 11, I will get 2 pairs, 6 5 and 5 6. When sum on the 2 dice is 10, they have got 3 pairs, 6 4, 5 5 and 4 6 and so on. So I have written all these pairs in the words. See like this. Sum on the 2 dice is 2. So how many favorable cases are there? It's only 1 case. Similarly, when the sum on the 2 dice is 3, the favorable cases are 2. When the sum on the 2 dice is 4, the favorable cases are 3 and so on. On the last I have got when the sum on 2 dice is 12, the favorable cases are only 1. Similarly, you can see over here I have drawn a diagonal with a star. See what this diagonal is showing you? It is showing a doublets. Means when the two dice are going the same numbered phase to be up. This is 6 phase on both dices, 5 phase on both dice, 4 phase, 3 phase, 2 phase, and 1 phase. This is known to be doublets. So whenever doublets are there, since doublets on the two dice are there, favorable cases would be remaining as 6. So I think you must have got this whole process of calculations of number of favorable cases and total number of cases in case of pair of dice when they are thrown simultaneously. Now we will directly move towards the numericals. Now you can see this numerical. Numerical is, suppose a card is drawn from a well shuffled pack of 52 cards. A coin is tossed and a 6-face dice is thrown. Means you are going to perform 3 experiments. You have to draw a card, you have to toss a coin, and you have to throw dice. Find the probability that we observe a king from the pack of cards, a tail on the coin, and phase 2. See, it is a and. Phase 2 on the dice upwards. Now my dear students, you can see this trials king from the pack of cards, tail on the coin, and phase 2 on the dice. These 3 events are the independent events. And moreover, there is an and in the question. So whenever there is an and, you have to multiply. Means you have to apply the multiplication theorem. So we will find out first of all the 3 probabilities. Then we go for the last probability. There are total number of 52 cards. Here 52 cards since are there, the total number of outcomes must be 52. How many number of kings are there? There are 4 kings of spades, hearts, clubs, and diamonds. So there are total 4 kings. So the number of ways which led to the event of our interest means how many number of favorable cases are there? It is 4, because there are 4 kings in the playing cards. So what is the probability of drawing a king out of 52 cards? Let it be P1. So P1 must be 4 upon 52, that is 1 upon 13. Let P2 is the probability that a coin falls with the tail up. So what is the probability of a tail up? It is 1 by 2. Similarly, probability of getting phase 2 upward on the dice, it will be 1 by 6. So I have got 3 probabilities. King the probability, this is the tails probability, this is the phase 2 ups probability. So since all the above shown events are independent, so according to the multiplication law of probability, see what theorem you have to apply over here? It is multiplication theorem. If P is the total probability of the given events simultaneously to take place, then what must be P? It must be P1 into P2 into P3. 1 by 13 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 6. It comes out to be 1 by 56. That means this shows that whenever the independents are there and you have to find the total probability of the events to be occurring simultaneously, you have to simply multiply the different probabilities. Have you got the equation? Now come to the another example. This example is, suppose a dice is thrown, a card is drawn from a deck of cards, and a coin is tossed. Calculate the probability that we get 4 on dice, a queen of hearts from card, and see again here is a and means you have to apply the multiplication theorem. A tail on the coin means all the 3 events you have to get simultaneously. Simultaneously find out currently you need what do you need? It is the multiplication theorem. So let us do it one by one. First of all, the number of ways in which the dice can fall is 6. The probability of getting a 4 face on the up, it is P1, which is 1 by 6. How many cards are there? There are 52 cards, but queen of hearts is only 1. So there is only 1 queen of hearts. So what is the probability of getting a queen of hearts? It is 1 upon 52. Similarly, on a coin there are 2 ways, 2 exhaustive events, head and tail. So probability of getting a tail on the coin is 1 by 2. So you have got P1, P2, P3. What is the total probability? Again, the 3 events are independent events. So P is the probability of getting a 4 on dice. P2 is the probability of getting queen of hearts, and P3 is the probability of getting the tail. Then what is the total probability of getting the simultaneous events? It is 1 by 6 into 1 by 52 into 1 by 2. That comes out to be 1 upon 624. Next example is a bag contains 5 white balls and 6 black balls. 3 balls are pulled out of the bag one by one. See, in a random fashion. 1 by 1 means it is a successive events. Calculate the probability of all the 3 balls to be white. Now see students, you have to check over here as these are the successive events. Means this is not the simultaneous events, This is not going to be the simultaneous events. It is going to be successive events. That means जो events हैं that must be independent, but they are going to be happen one by one. So how many white balls are there? 5. How many black balls are there? 6. Total number of balls will be 5 plus 6 comes out to be 11. So first of all, probability of first ball to be white, it is 5 upon 11. Alright. The first white ball has been removed out. Now total balls remain are 10. The probability of second ball to be white, that means the first ball has been replaced. It is kept out of the bag. Now total balls remaining in the bag are 10. Second ball, when you draw, there must be 10 balls in the bag. Then the probability of getting second ball to be white is 4 out of 10. See, out of 5 white balls, I have withdrawn 1 ball. So remaining 5 white balls are 4 and remaining total balls are 10. So 4 out of 10. Similarly, this ball has been replaced. It has been put out of the bag. Now total balls remaining in the bag are 9 and total white balls remained are 3. So what is the probability of third ball to be white? It is to be 3 by 9. Since again the events are independent, why the independent events are there? Because once you withdraw the ball, you keep the ball out of the bag, means the ball has been replaced. So whenever the ball has been replaced out of the bag, the events become the independent events. So what theorem must be applied over here? It is the multiplication theorem, multiplication law of probability. That means to find out total probability, what do you do? Total probability of the 3 events must be 5 by 11 into 4 by 10 into 3 by 9, which comes out to be 0.06. Alright. Now come to the next numerical. If a pair of 6 faced dice, see it is a pair means 2 dice have been thrown simultaneously, marked 1 to 6 is thrown, what is the probability that the sum of the numbers which show up is 8? My dear students, I have told you in the earlier case, the number of pair of dice when thrown together, how many cases there can be there, you can calculate. See, I have again drawn the same table. Make this diagonal, see, 6 2, 5 3, 4 4, 3 5 and 2 6. 6 faces up on the first dice, whereas 2 faces up on the second dice. 5 faces up on the first dice, whereas 3 faces up on the second dice. And so on, there is again 2 faces up on the first dice, whereas 6 faces up on the second dice. So how many total cases are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the cases favoring to the event when sum is 8. What are the favorable events? It is, how many favorable events are there? It is 5 only. But total number of cases are there, 6 on the one dice and 6 on the other dice. It comes out to be 36. So how many total number of cases are there? It is 36. And how many favorable cases are there? It is 5. So what is the required probability? Favorable cases divided by total number of cases means 5 upon 36. This is all about this numerical. Now come to another numerical. This is a card is drawn from a well shuffled pack of 52 cards and then a second is drawn. What is the probability that both the cards drawn are queens? Now see my dear students, since total number of cards are 52, so these are the successive events. You can see पहले first card निकालना है, then you have to draw the second card. While drawing the first card, probability of getting a queen in the first draw, it is 4 upon 52 means 1 by 13. But when you have withdrawn this one queen, you are not to put it back into the cards. That means this queen withdrawn has been replaced. You keep it outside of the cards. How many total cards are remaining there? Out of 52, one queen is withdrawn. 51 cards are remaining. and out of 4 queens, 1 queen has been withdrawn. So how many queens are left now? There are 3 queens. Therefore, probability of the getting second as a queen, it is P2 out of 3 queens out of 51 cards. That means 3.51 comes out to be 1 by 17. Again the events are independent. So which theorem must be applicable over here? It is the multiplication theorem. So what is the probability that the 2 queens are there? It is 1 by 13 into 1 by 17, which comes out to be 1 by 221. Now come to another numerical. This is solved in your books. If you have bought the Moderns books, these numericals are solved in your books. Now see the numerical. Calculate the a priori probability of drawing a queen out of a well-shuffled pack of cards. The well-shuffled pack of cards are there. There are total 52 cards. How many queens are there? 4 queens are there. So what is the priori probability of the event? Favorable event to the total number of events. Means 4 upon 52 comes out to be 1 by 13. Next numerical is find the probability of getting 2 tails when 3 coins are tossed in a single trial. See, in a single trial, when 3 coins are tossed, what is the probability of getting 2 tails together? So the events possible are, see, either you can get all the 3 tails up, or you can get 2 tails up and 1 head up, or you can say you can get first coin has tail up, second coin has head up, and the third coin has tail up. Or you can say you can get like this and this. So how many total number of cases are there? 8. And what are the favorable events? See, 2 tails are there, 1, 2, 3 and all. That means favorable cases of getting 2 tails is 3. So what is the probability of getting 2 tails together? It is 3 by 8. Similarly, 4 coins are tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting less than 3 heads, more than 3 heads, exactly 3 heads. So make a sample space first of all. What is the total number of cases can be possible when 4 coins are tossed together? It may be all the 4 coins showing head up. 3 coins are showing head up, whereas 1 coin is showing the tail up. 2 coins showing head up, third coin is showing tail up, and the last coin is showing head up, and so on. Last event is all the 4 coins are showing the tail up. Now what happens? How many total number of cases are there? It is 16. And how many favorable cases are to the first less than 3 heads? So how many less than 3 heads are there? See, it is 1 because there are 2 heads, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. That means less than 3 is means 2 and 1 head is there, and their total number of cases are 10. That means you will get, so sorry, I suppose I have counted as 1 less. Again we will count it. So it is less than 3 heads. That means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. There is 0 head. 11th case is there. There is no head. So 3 less than 3 means 0 is also counted. The total number of cases are 11. That means probability comes out to be 11 by 16. Similarly, the other probability you can find out in the numerical. When probability of getting exactly 3 heads is 4, then it is 1 by 4. Similarly, probability of getting more than 3 heads is 1 by 16. There is only one probability, which is we have getting the 4 heads together. The favorable cases are only 1. So 1 by 16. The probability of getting exactly 3 heads, there are 4 cases. So how many? What is the probability? It is 4 by 16 means 1 by 4. Alright. Now next numerical is there. 2 dice are rolled simultaneously. Find the probability of getting the sum of the dice on the faces shown up is 9. Here sum is 9. So go to the same sample space. When sum is 9 over there, total number of cases are 36 on the 2 dice. What happens when the sum of 9 is obtained? There can be the cases 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5 and 3, 6. How many favorable cases are there? It is 4. So what is the probability? It is 4 by 36 means 1 by 9. Next is, so I suppose it is much more than enough. So I am winding up over here. Next numerics I'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you so much.